Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, welcome back. It's no longer 2021, it's 2022. And we have some fine tobacco in my 1939 World's Fair pipe. And we are burning the Liberty Cold Blast. Yeah. So let's get into it, shall we? I think so. There we go. Very nice. So, what's new and exciting? Well, not much. The holidays are past us. They're behind us now. And we're trudging ahead, forward, as we do. So, everything out here in the old time cave is essentially the same as it was days ago. But anyway, we went out to some antique stores yesterday. We hit up one of our favorites out in Ontario. And Ontario is just east of Pomona if you know your California geography. And there's a really nice antique mall out there. And they have a good high turnover, and they always have something different and new and exciting out there. It's one of our favorites. It really is. But I went in there looking for a Christmas gift for a good friend of mine. And, well, I found him something, of course. I didn't just buy everything for myself, but I found him something that he's going to totally like for his garage. He's going to like that. Anyways, I did find something for myself, and where is it? Oh, it's right here. I had to have it. It's a Rayo number 75, and you know, I didn't have a Rayo 75. I would have had one earlier if people actually wanted a realistic price. Last time I saw a Rayo 75 in the wild was at the Long Beach swap meet, and someone wanted $95 for it, and was nowhere near as nice as this. It was actually painted in really gloppy black paint, and all the parts would have been freed up, and didn't even have the original globe. But you know, some swap meet seller was like, "Oh, that's a really rare lantern. That's 100 years old." And well, you know, they gave me the whole song and dance. I'm like, yeah, I know it's old. I have a garage full of lanterns, and I've never really paid that much money for a semi-common hot blast lantern. Rayo lanterns are great. They're fun. They were rebranded for Standard Oil. These examples were made by the Pritchard Strong Company, and their house brand was Prisco. So essentially, they're just Prisco lanterns rebranded for Standard Oil's brand name. So, that being said, they are actually a little more easier to find than the Prisco models. The Prisco ones are a little more obscure because they made a lot of these ones for Rayo, and they sold very well. They're very economical, and they're very well made, and they burn great. They really do. Rayo lanterns, as you well know, my channel is Rayo Rob number 17. So that's one of my favorite Rayo lanterns is the little 00 size number 17. But this thing is really cool, and I couldn't pass it. The price was just too good. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. $35. And there were other lanterns there. Okay. There were. There was a number 65. There was a Rayo number 65 out on their back patio in their garden section, right? And it had a lot of holes in the fount, and it had the wrong fuel cap, and a lot of surface rust. That's not always a deterrent for me, but it had a globe. Sadly, someone had dropped it or broke it some way. It had a Paul's Leader globe in it, and so I just was too sad to even ask about the price. It had no price on it, so I let it stay. But this came home with me, and I thought it was a pretty wise buy. So this was a good one, and I'm going to enjoy cleaning up. I'm only going to do a very mild cleanup on it, and I'll have to blow out the air tubes and get it prepared to burn because it probably will burn just fine. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, good deal. Good buy, and I'm happy to make a Rayo lantern the first score of 2022. So that's a good sign, I think, right? Yeah, I think so. Now, you're probably all asking about the ham pin lift. What happened to that lantern? Where is that at? Are you cleaning it up any? Well, for those who are in Southern California, all know that we've had a lot of rain. And the weather has been very chilly and very, well, not very conducive to restoring lanterns. So that being said, I pretty much just just put everything on hold, and I've ordered a few parts for the pin lift. It needs a fuel cap, so I've been waiting for that to come, and my tracking indicates that it's going to come today. So hopefully, if that comes, then I should start working on that lantern this week. I'm excited. I really am. I'm going to be very well. I anticipate burning it. I'll say that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a pretty rare lantern. They do come up ever so often, but they do go for a bit of money. And I did put that one on a layaway, and it's worth it. It's going to be a really fun piece to clean up and fix. So that's going to be a fun video in the near future to showcase that one. Not much else is going on out here. Had a wonderful low-key New Year's. We just stayed in and we didn't really do anything. I will say that I did go on a cruise with a buddy of mine here in Monrovia, and we cruised our 1940 Dodge cars. He has a coupe and I have my sedan, and they're both black. So we had a little fun little cruise of two through Colorado Boulevard. And for those who are familiar with the Tournament of Roses, the Rose Parade usually travels down Orange Grove and hooks a right and goes down the length of Colorado Boulevard to about Sia Madre Boulevard. So a lot of guys in SoCal, they'll get their old cars out, their hot rods and customs, and cruise up and down Colorado the day before the parade. So that's kind of a unofficial custom out here. So we got in our cars and we did a couple of cruises, and we had a nice time. Then we got some lunch and everything was fine. So that was fun. That was really the extent of it. We did visit with our friend a little bit later on that night, and then we made dinner and just watched some movies. And I think we conked out before 11 p.m. So we didn't actually get to usher in the new year as we usually do. We've just been really tired, and it's just been, it's been kind of grueling with Christmas being canceled on our account. We didn't go on our trip. So I think we just wanted to keep things low key. So it was good though. New Year's Day was nice. We just watched the parade and just, kicked around and just hung out. So that was nice. Anyways, let's see. What else do we got going on? What are we going to talk about now? Oh, yes, fuels. Some of my subscribers have asked me about lantern fuel and what's the best fuel to burn. And, I visit this ever so often because, some of the other videos I covered this content are older, and, not everybody wants to go peeling back the layers and go back in time. So I will just kind of reiterate certain things. Now, I've seen some content from newer content providers that are doing lantern stuff, okay? And I love it. I encourage new collectors to make videos if they want to. And I like watching their content. It's interesting, though. They're exposed to this one video. I want you all to be aware of it. Do not do this, okay? There was one guy that wanted to prove that you could burn olive oil in a tubular lantern. So he does. And it looks like it works, okay? Sure, it's worked. It works, but only for a little bit. Now, the reason being is that food-grade olive oil is a much thicker oil than kerosene. It's a different viscosity. And yes, it's clean burning and doesn't smell like kerosene. I get it. All right, it's appealing to try it out, but don't do it because your wick is not designed to wick up that kind of fuel. It's a wider, flat wick, and it really is more favorable to kerosene or traditional lamp oils. Okay, so over a long period of time, or over, using it, it will not wick it up as much. Okay, so I've never really had any experience with it. I've never really tried it. I will say that, but I recommend that you don't do it, because cleaning that out of a fount, if you want to convert back to kerosene, it's going to take a lot of work. A lot of degreaser, and you want to make sure that fount is perfectly clean before you add, kerosene back or another lamp fuel. Now, there's also confusion in the US versus the UK. Now, the UK calls kerosene paraffin, okay? Paraffin in the UK is more or less is derived from petrol, okay? It is a fossil fuel. It is refined from gasoline, or petrol as they call it in the UK. So, but here, paraffin is derived from paraffin wax. So it is an oil that is more or less a melted down candle, okay? And it will kind of clog your wick. It won't burn as well. You won't get the maximum candle power that you would with a regular kerosene, okay? K1 kerosene, you can buy it, for those on the East Coast and the Midwest, you can buy it at the pump in most cases. And that's fine to use, especially if it's not colored. Sometimes certain oil companies will add a dye to it, so you know that you're getting kerosene instead of another fuel that you might want to be pumping. If you can get something without a dye in it, that's ideal. The cleaner, the better. Some people have experimented with jet fuel, okay? That's not always a great idea, because jet fuel has a lot of additives. One of my subscribers has told me this. They have a lot of additives. So even though it burns clean and it doesn't smell much, it's still very toxic when you're burning it. Same with diesel fuel. You can burn diesel fuel in these lanterns, but I don't recommend it because of the additives. Now, K1 kerosene is a lot cleaner profile. It doesn't smoke. If your lantern is clean and burning properly, it won't smoke. So you want to definitely do that. Just stick with the good stuff. Know what works. You can also do, of course, Medallion or Clean Heat, which you can find at most quality hardware stores. I think Home Depot in most cases does carry Clean Heat as well. You can order it online. That's probably your best bet. Now, there's also, of course, a lot of the newer collectors who are making content. They don't know just how high the flame is supposed to be. Okay, so on this wonderful Liberty, it's burning at about the right height. This is where you want it. It's making a nice light. It's not smoking. So if you turn it up any higher and you start getting smoke, you want to turn it back down. So always start low. When you light a lantern, you want to start it off like this. Have your wick just above the burner, light it, and as it warms up, then the flame will grow, okay? It will gain height as it warms the fuel. So that's the thing with the kerosene. You want to let the fuel warm up. And it takes about, a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops, and you're burning at maximum efficiency. So when the fuel warms up, then you're burning a lot better, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. So, yeah. And I'll always make sure the globe plate is lowered. I've seen some that lit it with the wick all the way up and the globe plate's still up. So, anyways, don't do that. Anyway, so that's just kind of the little PSA I wanted to throw out there today. But, yeah, there is another fuel that some have had very good experience with. It's expensive, but Sterno, the company that makes those little cans for the food service, they use to heat those chafing dishes. Well, they make a very pure lamp oil as well. I don't believe it is a paraffin base. It is, I believe, a oil base. But the late Bob the Lantern guy, he swore by this stuff, and I bought him a lantern. I bought a lantern from him, and it had this fuel in it, and you don't smell it. It absolutely is odorless. It burns very clean, and I was very impressed. But it is $20+ a gallon. So if that's not a problem for you, great. give it a shot. You can look it up on Amazon, and you can buy it. It's made by Sterno, so just Sterno lamp oil, and they make it for the restaurant trade, for those little oil lamps that fine restaurants have on their tables. So that being said, yeah, that's probably your cleanest and safest bet if you want to burn mostly inside. Tiki Torch fuel, it's got citronella. It's appealing because of the quality that it's supposed to have in deterring insects when you're outside. I've never noticed that to be the case personally. They find me no matter what, and they bite me like crazy. I'm very attractive to mosquitoes and other blood-sucking instruments, for whatever insects instruments. Yeah. Anyways, you get it. So yeah, mosquitoes and all that, they don't care about, citronella. They just go right for me. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah, so first video in the books for 2022. I got a wonderful, nice little project. I got, I'll have two projects. I got this nice Rayo that I'm going to be tackling soon. But the pin lift, hopefully the fuel cap will come for that today, and I should be starting that shortly. Okay, awesome. Well, I hope you all had a very safe and enjoyable New Year's. And well, we're going to get into the year. The holidays are now behind us, and now we are going to go forward with this new year, 2022. All right, friends, keep your eyes out for good deals and fun lanterns. I'm going to probably be putting a few lanterns up on the groups on Facebook. If you want to see something particular, or if you want to see something, just hit me up. If you're friends with me on Facebook, just hit me up, send me a DM, and I can send you a photo of some things I'm selling. All right. Take it easy, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. All right. Bye-bye.